Now today we will be talking about soft skills development. Okay. So before talking about the soft skills, I would like to just do a review of whatever we have done till now. So is somebody there who has been attending all the sessions or has been seeing all the recordings and all and knows what all sessions we have done till now? Can somebody just raise hand and answer this? What all we have learned till now? क्या सीखा है हमने? Nobody wants to answer? Okay. See, we have already studied about industry dynamics. We have already studied about, self-assessment, goal setting. We have read about what all things we have done before. There are several other sessions, but mostly were, towards hard skills development. Okay, resume building and presentation skills and all. Okay. Today, we are talking about a very special skill which is required of which is actually the need of the hour for all of us. Okay, so this is called as soft skill development. Now this is a skill which is being developed since we are born, right? We talk to our people at home, we showcase some kind of activity or some kind of behavior at home. So that is something which constitutes my soft skill. Hard skill is something for which we go to colleges, we go to institutions, we get enrolled in certain degree courses or professional courses. So whatever we learned in our subjects, that is all our hard skills, technical skills. But this is something we are talking about behavioral skills, people management skill. And this is something which we see, which, we are faced with almost till the time, since the time we have taken birth. Because there is a way with which we behave with our parents, with our siblings, with our neighbors, relatives, schoolmates, teachers, right? So this is a skill. Now also we have noticed that this skill doesn't remain same for everyone, right? Everyone has their own way of behaving, their own way of perceiving things and then reacting. So that is something which creates a differentiation in the soft skill of two different people. Fine. So why are we talking so much on this skill today? I think 20 years, 30 years back, it was not that important. Your technical knowledge, your domain knowledge was something which was most important. And that was enough to survive in the market. Then why suddenly the soft skills have become so important? Can somebody just answer this question? Why do you think the soft skill has become so important and everybody has to develop it? If you don't have in case. So why it is important? Can somebody just answer this question? Nobody wants to participate today? Okay, fine. So why the soft skill is important? Now let's understand, guys. The dynamics has changed. We have already studied, right? The way people have been working has changed. Now, from manual, we are shifting ourselves to automation. And this automation is now gradually shifting to everything to AI. So if everything will be done by the machine, then why the soft skills is important? Why people need to develop this skill? Why it is important in the industry? Because the orientation is now towards people management. The orientation today is towards teamwork. And that is why the soft skill has become so important. Now, what are soft skills? Soft skills hai kya? Let's understand this. So the slides are not changing, right? Yeah. So what are soft skills? It is known as people skills or interpersonal skill, a set of personal attributes, abilities that allow individual to effectively interact with others in a professional setting. So understand soft skills now. Today what we are talking about is mostly why soft skills are important in professional arena, but then again, even in our personal lives, this skill becomes very, very important in managing all kinds of relationships. Okay, today relationships handling has become very, very challenging. Parents are finding it difficult to manage with their children. Children are finding difficult to manage with their parents. Siblings, there is no match these days. There are lots of differences. Even in classrooms, we can see that teammates, batchmates, they find it very difficult in managing. Teachers are finding it difficult to manage to the students. So why these differences are happening so much? Why this difficulty has suddenly popped up? And what is the way to reduce this? What is the way to curb all these problems? So here is where soft skills comes into picture. Although today we will be talking more about professional settings, but trust me, developing soft skills also helps in relationship building, also helps in making our life better and even personal relationship even better. Okay, so when it talks about people skills, when it talk about interpersonal skills, then definitely it's about one another, between me and you, between me and the team, between me and my boss, between me and my colleagues, right? So this is about, this skill is generally about all of us together. This include the ability to collaborate, manage time, communicate with clarity. So, under the soft skills, the communication becomes the most important thing. Communication is such a skill with the help of which our lots and lots of problems in life can be solved. But that communication needs to happen in the right manner, right? Employees are expected to set up their game by learning hard skills such as technical know-how and soft skills such as communication and leadership to survive in the job market today. So now, soft skills kahan se kahan tak aa gaya? Are you understanding? Now this is required for the survival in the market. So previously, the skills were required to do the job properly, but now the skills are required to survive in the market. Okay, you can feel the change. This is just top 10 soft skills which is required for career growth. I think, in fact, I assume all of you must be aware of all these skills which is mentioned here. Communication skills, creativity, adaptability, problem solving, team orientation, analytical thoughts, time management, negotiation, decision making. We will just learn about all these skills one by one, along with the examples, like in what perspective, in what situation does this skill help us? Help us in doing our work properly, help us in doing our work exactly as expected by my employer. Okay? So the first important is communication. Fine. It is mentioned here. It is required to build strong relationships with colleagues, clients, customers, stakeholders, everybody. It involves the ability to convey message now. Communication. I have several things in my mind. I have several ideas in my mind. And I don't have the art of communication. I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know how to present myself. I'm not aware how can I make people perceive positively about me. लोग मेरे बारे में सही समझे. They shouldn't get misguided or misled. So for all these reasons, communication skills needs to be very, very effective. most of the problem which lies in our life, whether it is in a professional setup or in a personal setup, is just because of this communication gap. This can be termed as misunderstanding. This can be termed as not able to present yourself in the right manner, right? Employer want people who can build professional relationship with colleagues, especially important when working with teams. कैसे relationship बनाएंगे हम? How are we going to make relationship? How are we going to sustain this relationship? In fact, to express ourselves, to express by now see, let's talk with the example so that we can understand this even better. Listening, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, written communication, presentation skills. Now we are talking about building relationship with the clients, with the customers, with the colleagues, with the teammates, whosoever. If we are not a good listener, what happens? If I don't listen properly, I will be misguided on my performance because I don't know what to do. If I am not a good listener, then maybe I cannot understand the other's perspective. वो क्या कहना चाह रहा है? If I am not a good listener, specifically when I'm in the interview, especially when I'm with my bosses, especially when I'm with very, very important customers, and I am not listening effectively, nobody's gonna repeat that for me. And I may lose. I may lose a business. I may lose a customer. I can lose a relationship. And finally, I can lose the job. So active listening is a very important part of communication. All of us should develop a habit of listening actively. If I can see how many today, we have 36 participants here. But out of this 36, if you are not listening to me properly, this is just going to be a waste of time and energy by your college because they have, hired me to do this for you and you're not listening properly. It is a waste of time for me and you both if you don't listen to me and follow what I say. So that is why active listening becomes very important in every work that I do. And it is a very important perspective of communication. Next, it is verbal communication. बातचीत जो हम करते हैं, the talks that we do. We know how to talk. We should know what to talk. When a small miscommunication can create big problems. So I need to know how should I communicate verbally? So for this communication, now what comes next into picture? Can somebody just raise hand and tell me? I have talked about this several times in my previous sessions as well. For verbal communication, spoken English is very, very important, guys. किस लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे आप अपने प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंसेस से? किस लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे अपने बॉसेस से, अपने कस्टमर्स से, क्लाइंट से? Fine, I understand. See, other languages also works. It's not something that it is only English which works. But in most of the jobs, when you go for the interview, this has become a very important parameter of shortlisting and selection. So when we talk about verbal communication, बात करना तो आना ही चाहिए. I should know how to talk, even in my language, in my native language. But then at the same time, I should know to talk in English as well. And what is the right way to talk? Okay. Non-verbal communication. What comes under non-verbal communication? Can somebody of you just raise your hand and tell me? What is non-verbal communication?
It's basically the communication that we do through sign languages.
Okay, it's not just sign languages, it is my body language.
Yeah,
Okay,
facial expression, something.
yes, exactly. So everything which pertains to my body. Now, please mute yourself. There's a noise coming from your end. So now it is said, or the researchers have said, that non-verbal communication is more prominent even when we are engaged with verbal communication, because 65% of the talking is done by the body and only 35% of the talk is what we talk, right? So my eyes, the movement of my hands, my facial expression, the curve of my mouth, how I sit, how I talk, how I keep my hands, everything talks. I say nothing and I just give you a smile. I think that is enough to say that we are happy, excited to join this session, really happy and engaged with you. I'll just take a break of 2 seconds. Yeah, just give me a break. Yeah, sorry for this break. Yes. So non-verbal communication is all about my body language. Even in the interview, if I sit like this with my shoulders bent, with, not maintaining proper eye contact with the interviewer, looking here and there. So all this shows that, okay, I am not so much interested. So I don't need to talk. My expressions, my habits, or maybe my body language is talking everything about me. So this non-verbal communication becomes very important, and we all should know in what context, how should we behave, how should we react. Okay, written communication. Now, written communication, when we talk about written communication, we should be very well versed with the grammar, the language, the spellings. A small spelling error can create lots of differences on what we want to say. It's a joke. It's a very old joke, rather. I guess you might have heard it somewhere, that a person, he went to official trip. He went to Goa for an official trip. Okay. And since he was in Goa, so he had a party and he drank also that day. He just sent a message to his wife. He just sent a message to his wife. It would have been, it was such a pleasure, but I miss you were her. It was such a pleasure being in Goa, but I miss if you were her. So this is the message which reached the wife. And what was the mistake? Is anybody aware of
Here,
this joke? Yeah,
if you were here, actually it should have been here.
exactly. So he just missed out one single letter E. And it has created so much of differences. So just understand, when we talk about written communication, it is very important to know the language, the grammar, the spellings, the vocabulary. Okay, because writing something in an elaborated format and writing something, sending the message in just 4 words, both of these create differences. किसी के पास टाइम नहीं है आपके लंबे लंबे मैसेजेस पढ़ने को. So that 4 words are important, but I need to know how should I communicate in small format. So that is where written communication is important. And finally, this is about presentation skills. How do I present myself? Whether I'm listening effectively or not, all my presentation will say. My verbal communication is right or not, my body language, non-verbal communication is right or not, my written communication, how presentable is this, how short, crisp, concise is this. So everything depends on the presentation skills, right? So these are the 5 examples of just one skill, which is communication skills, and keeping all skills one side, and communication skills itself has so much of weight that if you have good communication skills, you acquiring other skills becomes very easy. Winning over a job, winning over people, winning over situations, this skill alone can help you do everything. Start working on your communication skills, guys. Okay? Then it comes leadership. What is a leadership skill? Now, this is a question which has been asked several times. Can this skill be acquired, or people are just born with it? He is a born leader. Or do you think this skill can be acquired? What do you think? And if you think yes, it can be acquired, I will be happy if you can give me an example. Okay, let me give you an example here, guys. Everybody knows what is happening in the Indian politics. Fine. We have 2 major parties in our country. It's BJP and it's Congress. Okay. So when we look at our Reverend Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, what do we talk about him? He is a born leader. He has all the attributes which shows that he has very good leadership quality. But of late, in the elections of 2024, we have seen Congress also doing good. And it was all under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. So Rahul Gandhi was never a born leader. There was lots of joke against him, right? But of late, we have seen that with his hardships, he has acquired this skill. See, it's not about favoring somebody or being against somebody, but talent should always be worshipped. So we have seen how he has acquired leadership. We have seen how he has acquired this skill and he has created something, some new Josh among his people. So it is just an example to show that leadership is not a skill which only you can have by birth, but with practice, with understanding, with your good communication skills, you can develop this skill. Okay? A good leader has ability to inspire their team to achieve greatness, set a clear vision, communicate it effectively, create a culture of accountability and excellence. Now, this is organization per se completely. If you are a good leader, you will have lots of followers. You can inspire people with your work, with your achievements, with your talks. A good leader never just talks, but shows how to do it. Effectively considered as critical component of professional success and is highly valued by employers. So leadership is valued just because a leadership attitude guides people. A leadership attitude creates followers. A leadership attitude helps people in doing their work in the right manner. It helps in training people for the right job. Most employees works in teams, and leadership is widely recognized as a critical attribute for success in the modern workplace. So instilling this skill into your personality is very, very important. Don't get misguided that this is something. Now a leader can only be a person who is 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and 20 years experienced. A fresher or somebody with an experience of 2 years, 5 years cannot be a leader. No. You can be a leader if you can manage a team well, if you can inspire people, if you can influence people, if you can easily convince people with your ideas, you are a leader. But it needs to be developed. ये अपने आप नहीं होगा. ये चुपचाप घर बैठ करके मोबाइल देखने से नहीं होगा. You have to work on the skills. You have to see several cases. We talk about, learning through case studies. So take different cases and understand how this leadership can guide people in the right direction. What are the examples? How this leadership skills help people or how it is important for people. So this gives you a problem solving attitude. This helps in coaching and mentoring, giving the right training to the right people. Strong leadership creates strong management. When you have good leadership skill, you know how to strategize in a way that can create more value for the organization. Strategize in a way that can give more productivity, more affluence to the business, more prosperity to the business, and ultimately to the employees, to the people. So developing these skills, by developing this skill, you can also be a good problem solver, trainer, manager, and strategizer. Any questions so far, guys?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
I want to know how to develop leadership in ourselves. Means what to
Yes.
do day to day to develop leadership skill in ourselves.
So that is what I said. Read more of case studies. Meet more people. Understand what they need. What are the qualities of a leader? When you are working in a company, when you are at your workplace, try to help people more and more. Try to influence people with your ideas. Show more of creative attitude, right? So all these things will gradually take you towards strong leadership. Why our Prime Minister is called as a good leader? Because he has millions and millions of followers. They love their ideas. They love it. See, he is not a very learned person. उन्होंने कोई बहुत मास्टर्स पीएचडी और ये नहीं किया है. उन्होंने सिर्फ लोगों को पढ़ा है. उन्होंने सिर्फ इस कंट्री के सिचुएशन को पढ़ा है. इन्होंने सिर्फ इस वर्ल्ड के ज्योग्राफी को पढ़ा है. And then he has started working on it. Similarly, to develop this skill, we also need to understand the situation around us. What is needed at this hour? If I'm working in certain organization, what is the current need? Let's work on that need. Don't just get stuck yourself to the routine job which you have to do every day. Don't stuck yourself that I have to work only 9 to 5 and then no Saturday, Sundays, I will enjoy my life. Work more where the organization really wants you to work. And then gradually that skill will grow. It will not happen in a day. Work on your communications so that more and more people are forced to listen to you. Talk nice things. Talk things that people feel is beneficial for them. And then that will show your leadership attitudes. Okay, so it requires lots of hard work to develop this skill. Next, we will talk about teamwork. As I said in the beginning, previously, most of the people used to do individual works. Okay, my work, my task, my system, I'll finish it and I'm done. But now the scenario has changed. Now we have to work more towards the team. Now we have to work in a group. We have to learn to coordinate because alone I cannot manage everything. A leader should be a first good team member. A leader first should know how to work in a team, how to work on the same goals together. So teamwork involves the ability to work with others towards a shared goal. एक ही गोल है, एक ही डेस्टिनेशन है और सबको उसी डेस्टिनेशन पे पहुंचना है. So that is where teamwork becomes important. Collaborative team can also enhance job satisfaction and contribute to a positive work environment. अगर एक टीम आपस में मिलजुल कर कोऑर्डिनेट करके अच्छे से काम करती है, now say for an example, you are being hired in an organization. Do you get hired yourself? No. HR, the line managers, the reporting, the HODs, they collaborate, they form a JD, they form a picture. This is what is the person that I'm looking at. And in that collaboration, they understand, they take the interview, and then they decide. So it all happens in the teamwork. They decide, they make the decision together. When they interview 5 people, they take the decision together that this is the best one. So right from the beginning, entering into the company, the teamwork starts. When I enter in a department, let's say for the example, I enter into a finance department. So I have to work along with my team and I have to work interdepartmental. Requisition will come from HR, purchase, service delivery. Requisition will come from the shop floor. There are several departments every organization have, depending upon its nature of product or services. So that coordination is important. And if that coordination is strong, then that creates a positive work environment, of course, benefiting everybody in the team. Individually, only I grow. But in a team, we all grow together, carrying the strengths and weaknesses of all of us. Okay? Individuals who work collaboratively with others are more likely to achieve their professional goals and contribute more towards the success of the organization. Good teamwork helps to foster creativity, innovation. It encourages team members to share ideas, brainstorm new solutions, right? So teamwork में हम सब एक दूसरे के strength और एक दूसरे के weaknesses के साथ काम करते हैं. Maybe I'm weak in some things, right? Maybe I am weak in communication. But I have a team member who has excellent presentation skill and excellent communication skill. So what will happen in a team? I have ideas. I have shared it with my team. My team can present. And then we both can win together. So in a team, my strengths, my weaknesses, both can be managed. Both can be balanced out. Okay. Some examples of teamwork skills. So conflict resolution, mediation, accountability, collaboration. These are all examples of teamwork. If we work in a team, then the chances of having conflict will always go down. But why do you think these organizations have so much of conflict among people? Because there are lots of clashes in terms of I and me, my way, my thoughts, my ways, my work. When it is only me alone, then the chances of conflict always arises. When we work together, collaborating with each other, then the chances of conflict goes down, and even if conflict arises, the resolution will not take time. So we all need to together come out of this me and myself. We all have to switch to we. We should do it together. We should achieve. We should learn. When we collaborate, we learn from each other. I learn your strength, you learn mine. Understand? Accountability. So in teamwork, the team wins or the team fails, not the individuals. So the accountability of both win and loss is shared among all the participants. So teamwork is very important. Again, you will ask me the same question, how to learn this skill? It is very simple, guys. Take more initiative in collaborating with others. दूसरे नहीं कर रहे हैं, that doesn't mean I also shouldn't do it. I should take initiative. I should take a step ahead and start following people, working with people. I should make a strong team. I should follow my leader so that we all should start working in a team. Okay, so again, learning teamwork skill is a practice. Next comes creativity. Okay, any questions so far? So we have learned communication skills, we have learned leadership skills, we have learned teamwork. If no questions so far, we'll talk about creativity now. Why do you think people hire freshers? क्यों hire करते हैं? Freshers are so untrained, inexperienced staffs. They don't know the culture of the company. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to adjust. Adaptability is so low. But still, what is there? That organization loves to hire freshers. Anybody would like to reply this? Why organizations hire freshers?
To take a new energy, new and fresh energy into the organization.
I cannot hear you clearly.
Ma'am, we organization hired fresher because organization make to involve fresh and new energy into the organization to explore their potential energy, like you can say creativity of new era creativity.
Very good, very nice.
Curious to learn new things.
Yeah, the curiosity of learning And then the freshers are free in their mind, right? They are not coming in with lots of attitude. They are not coming in with lots of learning things in their mind. They are coming with an open, fresh, and clean mind. It is easy to write on a clean slate, right? So that is what freshers fosters into an organization. So this creativity is something which is expected out of every fresher who joins the organization, because they have a different perspective of looking at things. People who have been into the organization for long, they have a different perspective altogether. They are all experienced. So their measurement of profit and loss is quite balanced. But when it comes to freshers, their creative ideas are not ruptured with the balancing of profit and loss. They just think out of the box. Let's try this. Let's do this. What happens if we fail? Right? Freshers को fail होने का भी डर नहीं लगता, because they have never been experienced what is failure and what is a success. So that is where creativity becomes very, very important challenge for all the freshers joining organization. आपसे expected है ये skill, and you must showcase this. You must show how different you are from the setup which is already set. How you can think differently in the same routine work, in the same routine life in the office. It requires a mindset of curiosity, risk-taking, and willingness to embrace ambiguity and uncertainty. उनको fail होने का डर नहीं लगता. They are willing to do something new because they have no balance, right? Profit and loss का उनको balance नहीं है. And these clear mind many a times brings new changes which benefits the organization in the longer term. Creativity is essential for effective problem solving. That means it allows individuals to tackle issues in different angles. They have different perspectives altogether. हर बात के प्रति उनका नजरिया different होता है. Also, organizations give a competitive edge by enabling them to develop new products, new systems, which can keep them ahead of their competitions. So creativity, chalo theek hai. Here we are talking about fresher, that fresher should show that creativity, but even with the experienced guys, behaving or showing creativity is very important. You know, when you have to develop a new system, when you have to develop a new practice, new products, this creativity, it's something which sets you apart in this competitive market. You know, we have been right from the time when we have started watching TV, we have been seeing that ad of Surf Excel. Naya Surf Excel. You know, the same surf was there, right? जब हम छोटे थे, we could see the ad of surf. Then we saw Surf Excel. All new Surf Excel. Better Surf Excel. More valuable Excel. You know, they are just creating the new thing so that they can gain more chunk of the market. So जब लोगों को ज्यादा attract करना है अपनी तरफ, अपना सामान मार्केट में ज्यादा बेचना है, and I told you once, I am myself a product which needs to be sold in the market. So I have to be creative. I must show creativity in presenting myself during the interviews. So again, the same question arises. कैसे आएगा ये creativity मेरे अंदर? See, one thing, some people are God gifted. They are wit. So they have presence of mind. They know this creativity. But with some, they can develop this. Brainstorming, imagination, curiosity, experimentation. So develop the habit of risk-taking attitude in your life. कभी-कभी risk लेना पड़ता है. Take that risk. Of course, it should be calculative. इससे risk नहीं लेंगे जिससे मैं मेरी family या कोई परेशानी में आ जाए. But sometimes we have to take risk. Brainstorming, thinking about things, thinking about situation, putting pressure on the brain. And then this creativity will come out. So lots of time, lots of energy will get into sometimes some mundane activity जिसमें कोई मजा नहीं है. सिर्फ हमें बैठकर सोचना है और उस सोच से ही नई चीजें बाहर निकलेंगी. Creativity can be developed with imagination. सोचो how to make things better. We use WhatsApp every day. Which is the feature which I really require in this WhatsApp? Which, you know, sometimes creates obstacle in my work. That is brainstorming. And then when that feature will really come, that will be a creativity. और हमसे पहले कोई और ले जाएगा, अगर वो कोई और उस फीचर को प्रेजेंट कर देगा, then what we will say? अरे मैंने तो पहले ही सोचा था इसके बारे में, बट मेरा बैड लक खराब है, इसलिए मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली. Right? The first thing that we do is start blaming our kismat, fortune. I am not so fortunate. No. I didn't give this fortune any chance. मैंने मौका ही नहीं दिया. Because I didn't develop my skills, I didn't develop my ideas, I didn't present it at the right time. I was waiting. And if I continue to wait, nothing is going to happen in my life. So when I'm talking about all these skills, it should be learned as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Start developing it. Find out ways how you can do it. Curiosity, experimentation. You have to experiment things. Maybe new projects, maybe new internships, maybe new jobs. You have to experiment. You have to understand. When you're working in the setup, you have to understand in that same setup, what differently can I do? And that is where my creative skills will also develop. Next comes time management, जिसमें हम सब बहुत बड़े failure है. We do everything in life, but never manages time. How many of you agree with this? Honestly. How many of you really complains? मेरे पास वक्त नहीं है. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. Don't raise your hand. Show me your thumbs up. And then I'll know. Or write in the chat box and then I can read. Yes. So everybody of us does this. Time management. क्योंकि वो बहुत एबंडेंस में है हमारे पास, बहुत ज्यादा है, इसीलिए, और फ्री का है, मुफ्त का, पैसे नहीं लगते हैं टाइम के लिए, इसीलिए वो कभी हमारे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं होता. We never manage time. We never set our priorities. We never organize our task. We never delegate proper time to each activity along with their importance. I'm right or I'm wrong? I know I'm right. So this time management becomes very, very important, guys. हमारी जिंदगी के लिए. It's not just about being successful in a professional life. Everywhere. My work is equally important as giving time to my children, to my old parents, to other people, other members of this family, this society. I cannot say no to anyone. When it comes to work, there are several tasks that I have to complete. And I have to manage all those work in the same time that has been given to me every day. और उसी टाइम में हमें अपनी क्रिएटिविटी भी दिखानी है, उसी टाइम में हमें अपना अच्छा कम्युनिकेशन भी दिखाना है, अपना लीडरशिप स्किल भी दिखाना है. In same time, I have to show how I am different and better than others working in the organization. It's not easy, but it is something which is possible. Because it requires discipline and willingness to avoid distractions. Why my time is not managed well? Because I have loads of distractions today. I have lots of WhatsApp groups, right? Even professionally, we have WhatsApp group. So if I have received a message on my group that guys, there is a team meeting at 5 o'clock today in the seminar hall. Let's meet by your boss. While seeing that message, I just scrolled and I found my friend has sent me another message. Oh, it's too many days now since we have not met. Let's have a reunion. Let's meet at 6. I found another message. Then another. And then I continuously scrolled with all the messages which was there on the chat. So I thought I am working because I was looking at the message which was sent by my boss on the WhatsApp. But because of the other messages already popped up, I got distracted. I went on the Google to search something specific. But when I was searching, lot many more interesting things started coming. And then I thought, थोड़ा ये भी देख लेते हैं, थोड़ा ये भी पढ़ लेते हैं, थोड़ी इसके बारे में भी जानकारी ले लेते हैं. And because of all these distractions, what I was really supposed to do, I didn't concentrate on that, and then I didn't learn. So only if you avoid distractions, you can manage your time well. You can set your priorities. You can differentiate what is urgent and what is important. We have already spoken about this quadrant before. Urgent and important, urgent and not important. Important but not urgent. So this is specifically done to manage the time well. When we manage our time well, the level of stress goes down, the level of anxiety goes down, and then we are always through with the given targets. We always reach the deadlines. Even we can finish it before that. Start managing your time in an effective way, in a positive way. You can learn all these skills if you set your priority. I have to develop my soft skills. Now, this is my priority from today, and then set your time accordingly. Every day, 1 hour, I have to give to reading. When I read more and more, all these skills will gradually start developing. Okay? So those who manage their time effectively are more likely to be seen reliable and efficient. So even in the workplace, everybody likes those kind of people who are prioritizing their work, organizing their task in such a manner they themselves complete it on time and help other team members as well. Right? Some examples. Now, what comes under time management? Planning, setting the goal, delegations, and time blocking. So planning is important. Make a to-do list. What all do I need to do? This week, since I have to dedicate more time to because my exams are there, so there should be proper planning. More work, more study, less time pass. If this week I have more time, more free time because my work has been completed in the last week, let's plan for more leisure time. But everything needs to be planned well. Setting the goal, what should be done first and what should be done next, prioritizing. Delegation is also a part of time management. Why should I do all the work myself? Let's delegate. Let's divide so that we, under the perspective of teamwork, finish it on time. Right? So can you now see how time management is together with teamwork? How this is associated? So if we work in a team, we get more time for more work for ourselves. And then finally, time blocking. You have to give proper time and you have to fix up time for every work that you do in life. If I have to get up at 6 every day, I have to go to my gym, I have to come back, take bath. If I have to leave house at 7:30 every day, if I block my time for all my work, not just time, my life will be very well managed. My relationship will be very well managed. Every work, everything will be very well managed if I block time for all the tasks in my life. One of the most important skill which all of us should acquire, and this is something जिसको सीखने के लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए, ये सब हमें आता है, जिसको सीखने के लिए हमें सिर्फ एक चीज चाहिए, and what is that? Focus. Okay? Adaptability. Things are changing. There is only one thing which is constant in this world, and that is change. So change तो आएगा ही. आप कुछ भी कर लीजिए. We all should learn to adapt with the environment. People were working in Idea for long, 10, 12 years, 15 years. And suddenly, Idea merged with Vodafone. The management changed. The policies changed. क्या करेंगे? Survival difficult है करके भागेंगे? Will that help us? No. So we have to be ready with these kind of changing business landscapes, and it is only possible with adaptability. Adaptability is nothing but adjusting to the change happening around us. An employee with this skill can adjust to changing circumstances. So definitely in a situation when team changes, boss changes, the management changes, office premise changes, I am so adaptable. I am so adjustable that I adjust to every new circumstances which comes to me. Learn new skills and technologies to remain relevant in the workplace. Technologies are enhancing every minute. We cannot survive with the old methods. We cannot survive with the old techniques. I have to learn new tools. I have to learn new methods, new practices. Learning this also becomes a part of adaptability. It is impossible to avoid unexpected challenges. Suddenly, on 20th of March 2020, everything was shut down. There was no movement. Can somebody really even think of such environment? You are not safe even moving out of your house. Even inside you are not safe if somebody has traveled from outside. You're not safe among your own family members. But those who adapted themselves with this new environment, who constrained themselves that no, I have to be within the four walls more rather than going out. If it is compulsory because I have to earn, I have to work, then I am taking all the precautions. I'm helping myself. I changed myself, wearing that mask, putting that sanitizers. It has never been in the habit. But we developed everything. And those who developed, they survived. And those who refrained from doing this, they collapsed. Businesses has to take new landscapes, new ways of dealing with people, new ways of selling their product and services. Many new services was launched in the market which was not existing previously. So those who were adaptable, they could survive. And those who were not, they collapsed. We have seen big businesses failed. We have seen many new small businesses prosper and bloom, and they are still blooming. So be ready for all kind of change in your life. Be ready to adjust. Don't restrain yourself. आज boss ऐसा है, कल वैसा होगा. The bosses can change. So I should know how to work with this kind of boss or that kind of boss. There is no change for me. I can adjust. I was working in an environment where it was like 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and out. I changed my job for more salary, growth, and all other perspectives that I had in mind. But then again, I have to work till late. I must be ready to adapt with this new change. I can't complain, right? Those employees who can read situations quickly, adjust their approach to adapt based on the situation, are the one who really flourish in their life. How can we be adaptable? Flexibility, right? Resilience. What is resilience? The power to bear something. Endurance, बर्दाश्त करने की क्षमता. कभी कभी सिचुएशन खराब आ जाता है. That doesn't mean that I just have to collapse then and there. I just have to break down. No, I still have to stand strong. I have to be resilient. Growth mindset. I have to change because I want to grow. If I refrain from change, I'll have to get stuck somewhere. And then analyzing the situation and accordingly bringing change in myself, bringing change in my situation. Okay, I was not married, so maybe the responsibility was less. When I got married, the responsibility has increased. So previously, I used to waste many of my time, energy, my resources, like my money, everything on just things which just gave me pleasure for a moment. But now, since I'm married, now since I'm more responsible, I have to take care of all these things, of all these resources of my life. And if I change myself with the changing situation, with the changing time, I will always win. Okay? Any questions so far? Fine. Problem solving attitude? Fine. ये attitude हम सबके अंदर होना चाहिए. हम में अंदर ये attitude नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम problem को बढ़ाएं. We should always carry the attitude of solving problems. We should always carry attitude of finding out alternate solutions. What can be done? How we can tackle this? So again, this to learn this skill, to learn this skill, reading is very, very important. आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पढ़ेंगे, the more you read, the more you will be able to understand and behave in a given situation. Your power of taking decisions improves, becomes better. Your power to analyze situation and give solutions accordingly improves. So a problem solver is always somebody in the team who is most respected. Because this person has willingness to resolve quickly. उसके पास patience नहीं है. मुझे बस इसका solution चाहिए, कैसे भी. And then they have that attitude of taking risk, willingness to do it. Then I start prioritizing, organizing things. And then I tackle this situation, I adapt, and I solve this problem. So what does this mean? All these soft skills are interrelated. ऐसा नहीं है कि लीडरशिप स्किल सीखेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल नहीं सीखेंगे. ऐसा नहीं है कि टीम वर्क आएगा तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं आएगा. All these skills are interrelated. If one grows, the other grows automatically. Start working on yourself. खुद पर काम करना शुरू कीजिए. So critical thinking, analysis, strategic thinking, taking initiatives are some things which are some examples of problem solving skills. And then we come to critical thinking. What is critical thinking? What do we mean by this term, critical thinking? Somewhere where we analyze the situation and then resolve a problem. Somewhere where we analyze the situation from different perspectives and then come out with a new mindset. This is critical thinking, approaching problems in a different manner altogether. Critical thinking होगी तभी problem solver हो सकते हैं. अगर critical thinking attitude नहीं है तो we can never be a good problem solver. A critical thinker can evaluate the strength of arguments and identify flaws in reasoning. If something is like that, why? What if this change? What are the mistakes because of which I cannot grow till date? Let's start thinking critically on this. What is something which is stopping me to reach where maybe some of my friends have already reached? Start thinking critically. Consider multiple perspectives, multiple angles, right? You can also identify the root cause of the problem. In critical thinking, we develop an attitude of thinking from the real cause of the problem. Where has it started? कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? क्यों शुरू हुआ? Right? So for this critical thinking, I have to use my brain extensively. Analysis, evaluation, deductive reasoning, synthesis, all these are just examples of critical thinking. I need to analyze the situation even more. I need to evaluate different perspectives, different angles. Deductive reasoning. What is deductive reasoning? Reaching to solutions. And if this works, no, go to next. What if this fails? What is the other solution left with me? What if this also doesn't work? So this is all critical thinking with the help of deductive reasoning. And conflict management. I think conflict management is last today. Okay. What is conflict management? बहुत simple है. लड़ाई झगड़े को सुलझाने को हम generally conflict management कहते हैं. Conflicts क्यों होते हैं? Why there are conflicts? Whenever there is difference of opinion, whenever there is difference in terms of demography, difference in terms of mindsets, difference in terms of working culture, then these conflict starts. What one should be ready to tackle these conflicts, to handle these conflicts in such a positive manner that this conflict turns out to be a constructive discussion. So one should be problem solver. One should be good at managing differences, managing disputes, managing conflicts, rather than increasing it. It requires good communication skills, active listening, empathy, negotiation skills, and willingness to collaborate and find a common ground. A conflict can never be won if we reach to a situation of win-lose. It can be won if we reach to a conclusion of win-win. Understand each other's perspective, consider both the parties, and reach to a common platform, common ground. थोड़ी तुम्हारी and थोड़ी मेरी. A situation of compromise where both the parties are happy. If it is a situation of compromise where both the parties are unhappy, then that is a lose-lose situation. But if the situation where I have heard your perspective, I have presented mine, you are accepting mine and I'm accepting yours, only then we can resolve a conflict. नहीं तो जैसे ये रशिया यूक्रेन का वॉर है, ये चलता जाएगा. Right? We could not see any end coming. And why this war is continued so far? Because somebody, there is a catalyst. There is somebody who's guiding them to continue the war, who's helping them to continue the war. So ऐसे catalyst हमारी लाइफ में भी आएंगे. हम जितना भी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को रिजॉल्व करना चाहेंगे, वो बीच का बंदा इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का फायदा उठाने के लिए इसको और बड़ा करेगा. So we have to understand where to draw the line. If two parties are involved and third party is not required, don't discuss things with anybody else and try to resume things between yourself and in a short time. If conflict stretches, then the resolution also becomes difficult and sometimes impossible. So conflict को बढ़ाना नहीं है, छोटा रखना है. Conflict में हमेशा दोनों parties का common interest देखना है, which is something, what is your problem, what is mine, what is your interest, what is mine, and if we can reach to a conclusion, let's reach it and finish it. Let's collaborate and get off this conflict. Being open to ideas and perspectives also makes people motivated to resolve a conflict. अगर आप broad minded हैं, लोगों की बातें सुनना पसंद करते हैं, active listener हैं, okay, and empathy. Empathy is very important when it comes to conflict management. What is empathy? Can somebody just explain in one line? What is empathy? Empathy is nothing but just putting yourself in others' shoes, others' situation, and thinking from that perspective. हम अपने सिचुएशन से बारे से सोचते हैं, हम अपने एंगल से सोचते हैं. जिस दिन हमने दूसरे के एंगल से सोचना शुरू कर दिया, उसके पर्सपेक्टिव से सोचना शुरू कर दिया, प्रोबेबली ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को कभी जगह नहीं मिलेगी. So empathizing is very important skill. All of us must acquire to understand each other. एक दूसरे को समझने के लिए एक दूसरे के सिचुएशन में जाना और फिर सोचना is very important. Okay? Empathy, the first important thing in solving a conflict. Understand from the other's perspective, others' angles. Put yourself into their shoes and then analyze the situation. Learn to empathize with people. And many of your solutions and many of your problems will be solved quickly. Specifically, whenever there is problems related to relationship, either personal relationship or professional relationship, anything, empathy can help you solving all sorts of problems. Negotiation for a win-win situation, teri bhi and meri bhi. Mediation, if I am mediating a conflict, I should never take part from one side. I should never take decision based on the one-sided story. I should never interfere if my mediation is not required. So mediation becomes a very important perspective of conflict management. And then of course, resolution. अगर conflict है, तो resolution important है. Okay? How to improve these skills? This is the last slide of the day. Be ready with your questions so that I can answer them. And if you still have questions, you ask, and then maybe we can talk about this, how to improve the skills. Do you have any question? You can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and just start asking.
Ma'am, can you please just show 5th to 9th slide, just the slide 5th to 9th.
You want me to show you 5th to 9th slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what was that related to?
Ma'am, actually, I didn't jot down few of the points from those slides.
Okay. Jotting down points from slides are not important. Jotting down points, what I am talking is more important. You will get these slides, don't worry. And all this information which has been put in this slide is available on Google in ample format. ChatGPT, Gemini, there are so many AIs available. बहुत सारे हैं. Slide से point note down मत कीजिए. Try to understand what I am talking. Try to inculcate the changes that I want to make into you so that these sessions becomes important for you. These sessions becomes, some success for you, bring some success for you. Okay? So jotting down points is not important. Understanding these points are more important. Okay? Anybody else? Any question? Nobody wants to ask. Even the number of participants are very low today. I don't know why. Yeah, so you got bored of the sessions? No problem. Fine. So here we are talking about. Yeah. Thanks, Vivek. Fine. So how to improve your skills? So the first thing is prioritize which skills to develop. So again, the same quadrant will come what we have learned before and which is called as SWOT analysis. Before improving the skills, see, ऐसा नहीं है कि जितने भी स्किल हमने देखे या फिर और भी जितने स्किल्स होते हैं वो मुझे अंदर है ही नहीं, मुझे आता ही नहीं है. No. I have probably maximum of these skills already latent in me. Probably I have not got that situation where I can show that. So I'm already skilled. What is important? To create such situations, to get into such situations where I can show that skills. And that can be if you are working in different assignments that comes to you, different projects that comes to you, different work. Maybe you will say that my work is very, very routine work. So in that routine work, how you can bring some creativity, how you can bring some time management where you can complete your task on time and you can do more work for the organization to show them that you are so good asset for them. So first is prioritize which skills to develop. आपको कौन सा skill पहले develop करना है? And if you ask me, the most important is communication skills. पहले उसको develop कीजिए. अपनी बातें प्रेजेंट करना, अपने आइडियाज प्रेजेंट करना, इन्फ्लुएंस करना, कन्विंस करना, that is very important. My verbal communication, my non-verbal communication, because sometimes I have certain habits because of which my body language sounds negative. Just for an example, so when I talk, right? When I talk, I come very close to some people. So that is just a habit. ऐसा कुछ मन में गलत नहीं है, बट मेरी आदत है कि मैं बात करते करते लोगों के और पास चला जाता हूँ या पास चली जाती हूँ. So this of my habit creates or shows a negative body language, a negative non-verbal communication. So I just need to know my habits, the rights and the wrongs, and align all of them. Okay, so prioritize which skill to develop. I'll suggest communications. You can choose yours. Ask for feedback. Be open for feedback, guys. जब हमें लोग feedback देते हैं, तो we take it personally. Oh, you think you are smarter? Even if we don't say, we think like this in mind. So fine. See, feedbacks are not given that you have to follow all the feedback that is given to you, but at least listen to them. Some of these feedbacks might work and you may change for positive. Step outside your comfort zone. सबसे important है. अपने comfort zone से बाहर निकलिए. हमें कुछ नया नहीं सीखना है. This is all putting into my comfort zone. I have lots of distractions in my life and I'll still continue with it. I am in my comfort zone. I am like this. I don't believe in solving problems. I don't believe in resolving conflicts. I don't believe in maintaining relationships. I am an introvert person. I don't believe in working in team. I am an individual person. ये सारी चीजें नेगेटिव भी है और हमें अपने कंफर्ट जोन में रखना चाहती है. अगर इवन ये सी भी मेरे एटीट्यूड है तो इस एटीट्यूड से बाहर निकलिए. इस कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकलिए. That will help you develop. Self-reflect. Know yourself. What kind of person you are, what positives you have, what negatives you have, what needs to change. Find some online courses or maybe offline, anywhere. Find some people who can guide you, who can mentor you. in developing your skills. Listening is very important, जो आजकल हम में से किसी के भी पास नहीं है. किसी का भी बोलना हमें बुरा लगता है. We feel bad. Why parents are continuously nagging in our life? I don't like it. Why somebody is interfering? I don't like it. So actively listening. Listen to others. Listening doesn't mean you have to follow, but at least listen to them so that you develop this habit, and even in the workplace, it continues. घर में तो लोग आपकी चला लेंगे, but in workplace, there is no other way. Writing skills. एक लेटर के मिस्टेक से डिवोर्स हो सकता है. So just understand, if I don't have good writing skills, how will I influence and convince people when I have to write mails, when I have to write letters, when I have to express my ideas? Just a second, guys. So ये leadership role, ये हमें लेना होगा. I have to act like a leader. In the same situation, in the same team, how to act like a leader, how to take this role. Give them new ways, show them new ideas. Come up with more critical solutions. Become a problem solver. And then you can take on this role. Communicate often. बात करना बहुत important है. This channel of communication is something which can solve bigger problems. So communicate, talk, either through writing, talking, expressing through your body language, however is possible. But do talk, do communicate. अपनी बातें मन के अंदर मत रखिए. Don't keep yourself within yourself. Speak it out. Talk to somebody. Even if you have certain problem and which you feel there is nobody to resolve, find out somebody and talk about it. If you communicate, there will definitely be a solution. And more you communicate, the more you are developing your skills. And finally, work on your critical thinking skills. Analyze करना सीखिए. Situation को अलग अलग perspective से, अलग अलग angle से, root cause तक जाइए किसी भी situation के. And that critical thinking ability will help you in developing your other skills as well. That is all from my side today, guys. If anybody of you have any problem, anything which is not clear, please raise your hand and ask. No problems
Hello,
for the
ma'am.
day?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah. Go ahead.
there was a negative environment in the company. Okay. So,
Okay.
I think because of managers and they are creating some partiality towards an employee. Okay. Though it will create a negative environment there. So, how can we can come outside from the negative environment of thinking like that?
Okay. See,
And
if
also,
you have
how can we?
option,
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
if you have option to change, look for change. Because once negativity sits in, it becomes very difficult to come out of it. But if you think I am a fighter and I need a solution here itself, try to bring positivity from your side at least. कहना बहुत आसान है, मुझे पता है. In real situation में it doesn't work. But you be positive. And if सिचुएशन ही ऐसी है. अगर नेगेटिव ही एनवायरनमेंट में काम करना है एंड आई हैव नो अदर ऑप्शन, then the skill of adaptability is going to help me. थोड़े दिन के लिए, थोड़े समय के लिए, जब तक आपका सिचुएशन चेंज नहीं होता है, till the time your situation doesn't improve, stay in that environment. Try to bring positivity if you can, it is fine, else look out for something else. No point wasting lots of time in such negative environment. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am. And how can we become a effective communicator? And also, how can we become a good communicator in every, it means a positive environment to become a good communicator? And also, how can we develop a good communication?
Okay. Communication के लिए क्या चाहिए? पहले ये बताइए. What is required in communication?
Actually, to communicate, they need a language. One of the barrier is the language and also a body language.
No. Language is not required. I can communicate in any language. Communication is an art.
Yes.
To develop this art of communication, to be more communicative, I need somebody to listen to me. Do you agree? So there are two people or two parties required to communicate. So the first important thing is be more social. Open yourself. Whatever ideas, whatever feelings, whatever perspectives which is there in your mind, bring it out. Talk to somebody. Express yourself in different situations. Sometimes, see, every situation is not a situation of, live or die, right? Situations are simple, guys. But we just don't communicate because we think, kya fark padta? How is it this bothering me? Right? Stop thinking. Start talking. Be more open. Be extrovert. Read more. Talk more. Whatever is happening in and around you, talk about that. Learn, talk. Learn, talk. The more you talk, the more you will become a better communicator. Because when you talk to different type of people, you will understand different ways of communications. You will understand different perspectives. So you will have variable styles of communication. So to be a good communicator, you need two people. You have to be more social and you have to talk more often. But agar hum faltu baat karenge, if we talk just senselessly, then definitely nobody is going to give me value, respect. So people should respect what I talk. I should talk something sensible. I should talk something positive. So read for that. Start reading, that is things happening around you, and talk. Talk more, you will develop. So thanks a lot, guys, for attending the session.